Okay, so we're doing some blackout tattoos. I think there's some questions in here. It's a lot to read, so.
Quite the waffle. All right.
Yeah.
So the first one says, hey, so I wanted to know what you think about the scarring in black work. I have some marks that I'm concerned about that I'm thinking is scarring. If so, what do you think about how they will affect the rest of the progress? These images were taken about 18 days after the first pass. I know some line work from the original tattoos I'm covering will show, but there are some marks that have come up, and I don't know if it's from the artist being too aggressive or what. Some of it's still thin skin that will come off with exfoliation. Arm was dry at the time of the photos. Hope the photos do justice. I am planning on doing another pass in a few months after finishing the rest of the sleeve, and then repassing the rest as well. Hope most of these are merely scab marks that will go away in the future. Thanks. Hope to see some insight from you guys. Take it easy.
So most likely whatever was going to happen has happened by the time we get to this.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But these are like, sometimes it's like just instructive for other people.
Yeah, I think so too.
So there's some surface level like wounds here, like that have, like maybe you got a little overworked, but like I don't think that's scar. Like, so there's varying degrees of scarring too, right? I should say that right away. We just covered that worm.
Yep.
Right, where it's like almost like a brand, right? That's technically a scar. And even like when you get into scarification, like if you don't go to someone that knows what they're doing, you can get something like that, where what you want is like a thin, like kind of, you know, not crazy
more
scar.
surface level.
Yeah, right. So like there's different things that can happen with scarring, and nothing that I see here looks too scary to me.
No, I don't think any of it looks too crazy. And like I think that people and I've been asked this question a couple times by people, like, why does my tattoo raise? Or why does some parts of my tattoo raise? And I think that like some of this could be a bit of that.
Oh, there's probably some scarring,
Yeah.
But like
Things are going to raise.
there may have been scarring in your skin to begin with.
Yeah.
Especially we're talking blackout. Like usually when people are like it's not always the case, but most people when they're covering things with black, they had scarred tattoos underneath. They just didn't realize it. It's because like on normal tattoos, you won't see it because there's all different shades and there's all different designs and things obscuring things, and your eye won't find the one spot that's raised or shiny.
And I always remember this from when your arms were black mostly. We ran into, like, your arms looked smooth and black and like gorgeous, and then we would go and take photos and you would be like angry because the camera would like make up this texture out of nowhere.
Things that cameras can find that are indiscernible to the human eye.
Right. So like that's the other thing too that you gotta watch for is like sometimes your camera is just picking up whatever it wants to pick up.
Whenever you send in a photo, you should probably be moisturizing your arms first, because like
I can't really see
there's
anything that looks problematic
spots here that are making it hard to tell like what's what, right? Because like a dry spot can look like it's trauma, or something, right? Like, or bad healing. But like I get dry spots. I moisturize every single day, whether I'm healing tattoos or not, and I would recommend everyone who's getting tattooed does the same. Not just that day or the day before, but just every day of their lives.
I'm the worst for moisturizing.
Everyone should do it, especially if you live in a dry climate.
Yeah, which we do.
And also, it will make your skin easier to tattoo as well. Like when someone runs color over your skin, and then it's like, oh, look at that, it's blue now. Like versus they have to run it 3-4 times. Then you're also saving money.
Also, drink a ton of water.
Yep. And that's part of me. Like I drink. How much water do I drink in a day?
Telling people that before like their first tattoo appointments. I'm like, make sure you drink a lot of water. I think like when you see scarring in tattoos, it's usually like shiny.
There's some stuff in here that's that's not the scar. That there is not the scar from Blackout. That was a fucking circle of some kind that he had prior. There was some circular tattoo in there that got scarred up. And I see a few other things in here that look like shapes of old tattoos as well. So I don't think that I think the Blackout was done reasonably well. I think like I've seen worse. I've seen like very good artists do Blackout and fuck it up. Like I've had it happen to me where it's like they go into it and they're like, oh, this is going to be easy. It's just some black. And then they're like fighting with the arm to get it even. And whenever that starts happening, it's pretty well over. So you can see some mag lines here and stuff. But like the big, like visible areas that I see, they got nothing to do with the black. That's like lines from the old tattoos and stuff. Right? So those are harder to saturate. That's why you see those formations. Also, like when you do have a solid sheet of black like this, whatever scarring of the old tattoos is in there, you're always going to see that. Like I could always see that mime face on my shoulder.
Always.
I can still see it. Like I can still see it when I look for it.
There's also like a one on your throat that you could always see too.
I can't see that one anymore.
No,
that one wasn't as bad
when
as
it was
this guy.
black. Yeah.
This I can see the mime face through the rose, but like most people won't.
No.
Same thing. I can still find my first ever tattoo sometimes on my left arm. My son's name. You can still see it sometimes if the right hits it just the right way. It's like, oh, okay, there was a tattoo there, and it just is what it is. Like putting a coat of black over something doesn't make it go away.
Well, you don't get rid of the texture.
So I think in this case, it was much more likely, you know, most of it was old tattoos, and some of it may have been inexperience but like overall it's a pretty reasonable heal.
I'm mostly just seeing dryness.
I would definitely fucking moisturize this thing a little more. Like don't go overboard, but like once a day is good.
Yep.
That should keep this from getting crispy like that.
And then we'll move on to our next waffle. Hey Remy, hi Remy's wife. I'm sorry I don't remember your name. It's
Jenny.
Okay. No, it's Sarah, guys.
Jenny.
Sarah, not Jenny. Don't listen to him. He's trying
Ephemeral
a thing.
Jenny.
Yeah, no, it's Sarah. If you start calling me Jenny, I'll be upset. So I sent you pictures of my very first attempt at a blackout as the artist doing it, I think, last week. I had the second session 2 days ago, and I'm so proud I had to send it to you as an update. We did 1 hour and a half on inner bicep. She did have her head go light, so we kept it short and stopped. Okay, so she got lightheaded.
Well, almost always the inner bicep only has so much time anyway.
Yeah, I don't like having my inner bicep.
No, I don't mean like you would like
out.
just in general, like it just can't take for that long. The skin tightens up and it starts getting weird in there, and it's just the way it is.
And then it says she had another pressure drop at home, but her husband was there, so all's well. She admitted to me she forgot to eat in the morning, but the first 48 hours were a lot smoother healing-wise, so she likes shorter sessions. I see my first one, I will have touch up to do, but this second one I can't predict where and if I'll need. I did connect the two and really wasn't sure if it was too early, but she seemed very well healed on the edges. I also just wanted to map out the magnolia flower, but we really liked the placement, so I went ahead and lined it. And the leaves, which will be white on black in some months.
Jesus
Still
Christ.
debating whether I should have not lined the leaves in blackout. She sent me a photo.
I would have just blacked up to them. But.
Yeah, she sent me a photo the next day. I circled the part where I was afraid start of infection, but she sent me 48 hours after, and it looks a lot better. Sunlight photos are fresh, the 24 hours, and then 3 photos 48 hours after. I think I found my technique for blackout because the second pass is looking really uniform in black. It's going to.
Generally.
That's what a second pass does.
You get a clean, like it's no swelling. You get eyes on what needs to be hit and what needs to be blended. You know, that's why you do second passes.
And then they go on to say, I know I talk a lot. Sorry for that. Thank you for your time, Elaine. You don't talk a lot. It's a waffle.
It's pretty typical.
Yeah.
But You know, the problem is, like, I do think maybe a thin line, maybe like almost like a ghost line for these flowers on the outside. You definitely don't need to do any kind of bold line on them because there's like no line weight there. You're not gonna see those lines anyway. This is the same thing that happened with your pumpkin arm.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like
A big bold line, and where is it now?
It's gone.
There's no fucking line on that thing.
Yeah.
And that's just like, there might be for a moment, but overall, use the same black right up to the same like line, the same session, the same like it's just gonna be, you're just gonna have the tattoo in there. You're not really gonna see the bold line, but it doesn't matter. It's not a huge deal. It's just a minor nitpick. What was she saying? Yeah, so the inner bicep is always going to be like that. And for Blackout, I don't really think that it's wise to do more than a few hours anyway.
Yeah, we're always like saying this when we're talking about blackouts, that the sessions should be short.
In general, if any full color saturation is going to be a shorter session than a black and gray session. Mm-hmm. Just is. And if it's not, then you're not paying attention to the body. And maybe you're just like, well, I booked you for the day. You're paying me for the day. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. I don't care what damage comes from this. There are artists that do this every day, and they may have techniques to avoid the trauma that's being done to some degree.
Well, they really know the skin.
Well, there's that, but it's also like respecting when someone's had enough. Like, you couldn't work on Ashlyn for 8 hours. Without hurting her.
Her skin would be so angry.
She gets 10 minutes into full color and her skin is bruised.
Yep.
So it's like,
very soft skin.
You have to get in and get out. Mm-hmm. And it's like her whole arm is like an inner bicep. Mm-hmm. Like, it's that same tissue. It's thin and it takes color really easily, but it gets angry. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you were to do a full day session on her full color, you might put her in the hospital. That, in my opinion, is close to malpractice.
Yeah.
Right, that's like that the butcher's blackout with the fucking lady who ended up in the hospital for 2 months.
Yeah.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, I think like, and especially like if you've only done a couple blackouts, I think starting small is probably better. I know like one of the artists said this to me the other day. Don't let the client pressure you into getting it done in one sit.
Well, no, because you have to be responsible because you understand skin, they don't.
And they're always going to try and pressure you to rush. And like the thing
some of them will.
Yeah.
You got some clients that are content to do an hour.
Yeah. But the thing is like blackouts, they take time. They take time to look good for most people.
Well, see, the thing is everybody's just so used to seeing these fucking one-shot blackouts on Instagram that it's very corrosive to the social like conscience around this subject. Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, you just go see so-and-so and he makes your tattoos go away.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fucking magic eraser.
Right.
Well, that's almost never the case.
Almost never.
Even the guys that do that don't promise perfect results in one shot. And they only show the ones that do work perfect in one shot. And there's going to be someone out there that's sitting there with a fairly half-assed blackout screaming about how he got it done in one shot and it was just fine.
Yeah.
But he's not taking a critical eye to his work.
Definitely not.
And if I were to have a look at that, I would find the errors. Mm-hmm. Even in Hood's blackout sleeves, you see like healed photos, there's usually a nick here or there.
Oh, yeah.
There's usually the elbow is a little yellowy, you know,
yeah.
like it's pretty fucking hard to do this in one shot.
Yeah, it's tricky. And I mean, like, yeah.
Be open to the journey. Also, like, we had a guy come in for a fucking blackout one day and he's like, oh yeah, I had a big breakfast. You ask him what he ate. Oh yeah, I had a pear. A fucking pear.
Yeah, that's a big breakfast.
A pear? What the fuck are we talking about? We're about to rake you with a giant needle for hours.
Yeah, like
and of course he passed out.
Yeah, of course. Big breakfast, okay, guys? Like, big breakfast. Think eggs, bacon, toast.
You know, I never thought that I was the most healthy person ever. But, like, some of the things that I've heard, like, working here, where people, oh, I don't eat breakfast. I don't drink water.
Yeah,
I don't ever drink water.
And that's the other thing, too. Is
Pepsi is my water.
Pepsi,
What the fuck are we talking about? No, it's not.
I love Pepsi, but I drink a lot of water.
Beer doesn't count as a breakfast.
Oh, and that makes you bleed like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's
and
like,
you'll heal easier, too, if you're in good health.
Even if you don't eat breakfast, like if breakfast is not your thing, eat breakfast when you're going to get tattooed. You
Well,
will
but if
feel
your
better.
body is in a better condition overall, you'll take ink easier. You'll heal easier. Like the tattoo won't hurt as much. You won't bleed as much. So you'll end up spending less money as well because you'll take less time to tattoo you.
It's true.
Right? Your skin will be in better shape.
And like for me, like the clients that I've tattooed that I know are very well hydrated, I can tell the difference in their skin.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
But it's just also this climate too, though. Like most people around here are like they've got like almost like a shell like texture.
Well, I mean, we live in a semi-arid climate.
But they're walking around like crabs or lobsters or so, you know what I mean? Like their skin is like tough, like armor. You can see it when they come in. Like you start to get the like when you look at it, you can feel the texture.
It's so bad.
It's a weird
or
thing.
Like rhinoceros skin.
Yeah, like Kevin used to say. Have you ever imagined what a stegosaurus might feel like?
Right? Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I like Kevin's quip. There is pretty funny. There's a lot of pictures of this.
There's a lot of pictures in here. Looks like they lined out one more flower or something.
Yeah.
That they just didn't do anything with it.
And they kind of shaded into it.
I don't know what the fuck happened in there.
I don't know.
That's very strange.
It looks a little bit messy.
Here you can see some scar of whatever the hell they covered, or maybe they had some scar tissue, and I don't know what's going on. It looks like they went over their lines with the black a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
I think they did.
In a few places.
Oh,
unless that's just trauma marks.
I don't know. See, like, and
The
then
flowers are too small, though.
I also like when I see like this frayed edge on a blackout. Like, I'm worried about how you're blacking this person out.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Like, I mean, I know we've all seen the videos where the guys are just like, meh, meh, meh,
So you gotta like do these circular motions.
or like it's either
or
that
scoop.
or you do like just like little zigzag, little tiny circles side to side. Like
that looks like they're just like going straight down with the mag.
and not
Almost like they're
that's causing a
mag-white. Like,
lot
that's
of trauma.
weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The healed stuff looks like it's like whatever the hell's up top there looks like it was traumatized a little bit. It's very shiny.
Yeah.
But it could just be slow healing too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's tougher than people think it is, so I'm not going too hard.
Yeah, I think that the black that's in there looks like it's pretty solid.
But man, this is fucking dry as fuck.
Oh, I know.
Please lotion this. Please, just a little bit of lotion.
I just think where they're getting messy is when they're going around these pieces. Like it looks messy when they're going around these pieces, and I don't know if it's just because they're not done yet or what. But
yeah, I don't know.
Like they didn't come close enough.
Yeah, they're afraid to butt up to the line for some reason.
Or they
like
just
they're afraid of running it over, or I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
There's some things to be cleaned up, but I think the flower should go. I think obviously I already said I think the owl should go last time we talked about this, but I guess the person's fairly partial to the owl. With that said, like the flowers are very small. They're so inconsequential. They may as well not be there.
If you're gonna do a black round sleeve, you still want big elements. Like you don't want dainty tiny stuff. It doesn't look good. You want big and lots.
Yeah, I think they should all go personally.
Yep.